Guys, we're live. Hello. It is Saturday. The weekend is here. Awesome, awesome. And for those, I know a lot of you guys in the US, you don't really care. But for everyone in Canada out there, it is Thanksgiving weekend. So all you guys out there in the States, you can thank Canadian Thanksgiving for the green market. Are we pumped now for Canada or what? Let's go Canada. Causing crypto to go green. We're all thankful this weekend. Oh, what's happening, guys? What's going on? Thanksgiving weekend up here. Anyway, let's continue on. We got a live chat here. I do see J Mining. What is happening? Go, 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 gov. What's happening over there? Kaspa Centralized. What that means. So I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit here. Let's just get through this roll call. I do see Schaefer hanging out in the Twitch there. I see Fudweiser hanging out in the Twitch there. What's going on? Back to the tubes there. We do have Travelers Travel, Squirrel Masters, the Pirate, Serpent X sending some people over. So welcome everyone that showed up from Serpent Stream over there. And of course, we do have Fudweiser. Nailed it. I hope that worked. Oh, continuing on. Squirrel Master, what is happening? Grey Wolf, J-Rod, D, the Pirate, Made Channel, what has happened? I say Kaspa dump incoming to 10 cents. I thought it was going to get there pretty close. It got down to like, what, 12 something? It was getting pretty crazy there. Bog Slurp, what's going on? First time 13. Use of Putts in the house. Travis Cunnings, Schaefer. Oh, Schaefer right there under the YouTuber, the Tubester name. Mozzie Me, what's happening? Ninja Kid, I cannot pronounce that name, so I'm not sure what it is. Is that like Russian or something? Oh, it jumped on me, Golden Wolf, I see you. Ryan Wilson, what's happening? What do we got? Crypto Kurt is there. Alonjo Sevenentis, what's happening? Yeah, I think we got, Vinny Delareco or something. Afternoon humans. You guys are all humans, right? You guys are human, aren't you? Baby Doge, go, go, go. Baby Doge, what? What is happening with Baby Doge? 12.8, but we rolling again. Is my mic working? Because, yeah, I have to get my voice model up and running again, and I haven't been using it for the last couple of weeks. So the meters look good, so hopefully everything's working good. But, yeah, Schaefer, let's go Canada. Yeah, let's go Canada. So, Kaspa Centralized. So let's kind of talk about that centralization. What does it mean? So are you sure you don't, are you serious? You don't know what it means, or you do know what it means, but network centralization is pretty much where, majority of the network is ran by a single, just a couple entities, and decentralization is whether it comes to the mining or the node. There's a couple different ways you can look at a centralized and decentralized network. Obviously, proof of work is the most decentralized networks. For proof of stake is where all the rich people come in, and people with the biggest bags, are the only ones that are able to run them nodes, and they got the most amount of money and so on. So like for an example, you got all the people with a lot of money, early devs and stuff, they're running Ethereum on nodes. That is a very centralized network. On top of that, most of those nodes are ran on something like Amazon servers. So, if anything ever happened to Amazon, Ethereum would be in very rough shape. If it went down for 24 hours or 48 hours or a week or whatever, Ethereum network potentially could cease to exist in that time frame. But again, there's probably some nodes running somewhere else, but it would be very bad for the ecosystem. Regardless, that's kind of in a nutshell how it works. Now, in Kaspa's case, right now it is okay on the mining side of things. It is and it isn't. But if we come into here, we go to Kaspa, there's a few things we're going to look at, and that is obviously the network hash rate. You can see it's currently sitting at about 1.09 exahash. I think it peaked around 1.2 exahash or something. But those aggressive block rewards, Kaspa's like 70 or 80% mined out. The emissions do last to like 2037, 2036 or something. But within a year or two, it's not going to be worthwhile for any of us to mine. Personally, I think once we're done this altcoin season, depending what price Kaspa hits, it's going to act like an altcoin. Price is going to go up and then it's going to drop. Next bear market, there's probably not going to be really anybody mining Kaspa anymore, if you really think about it, because I know I'm not going to be able to afford it with block rewards of being like, I don't even know, 60, 50 Kaspa or something. It'll be a full halving from now moving forward. So we can do a quick look at that. Actually, we can just bring up Kaspa emissions here. If we bring up the big Kaspa mission schedule. So let's just kind of look at the time frame right now. And right now, you know, next year we're expecting 2025. We're going to see sometime it's going to spike, and then 2026 is when crypto starts to ramp down. Now, depending if Kaspa gets a bull run or not, I really don't think it is. It's going to probably follow an altcoin season. It isn't another Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin and stuff like that. The core-based coins, they do stay up high in price over an entire year or so, right, when that bull market hits. But the altcoins and stuff, which Kaspa I really feel is going to fall under, it's going to be like that. Altcoins is going to pump, and then it's going to dump, and then it's going to be dead for another 4 years. So sometime after that pump happens, we're going to be leading into 2026, 2027, and 2028. These are all bear markets here leading into where we are now. 2029 again will be the next bull market. But throughout 2026, 2027, 2028, look at the Kaspa block rewards. They're only going to be 24, 20s, 19, 18s, 12, 10s, 9s, 8s. So the next bear market, there's not going to be any Kaspa unless people are minting coins like crazy. But we're already seeing that die off already, and we're not seeing massive block rewards like we were the first day or two. And now we're seeing the odd time we're seeing that. But after a year or two, you know, depending on adoption and who starts building on Kaspa and stuff, you know, a lot of other things come into play here. But looking at the block reward alone, if you're betting on gas fees to keep Kaspa alive, I don't think that's going to be a very good case to move forward to mining it. So we're going to be basing it off block rewards. We're only going to be under 20. It's going to keep dropping and dropping. And, you know, sometime in 2028 here, it's only going to be at 9.7, you know, 10, 8.6, 8.1, looking very, very bad here. And I don't see any profit in that. Obviously, coming into the price of Kaspa and stuff, what it could actually hit. But again, I feel it's going to be an altcoin season thing, and it's going to drop after that initial huge spike that comes in. So it's going to be very interesting there. And we're only going to have cheap powered, massive mining farms mining this, like Mara Digital, which is maybe that's online now, but this month it is October now. We've been talking about this for a couple months now, and they have another 60 to 70 petahash that's supposed to be turning on from them this month here. So I don't know if it's already there, if it's the end of the month or what. I still think it might be coming because technically we're not really that high in the hash rate yet, because we did peak at 1.2, but we're only sitting at like 1.09 or something right now, which we just seen. But those rewards are going to be dropping so fast, and I know I probably won't be mining it, and I know a lot of you guys probably won't be mining it, which means most of us, you know, home miners will stop mining Kaspa, whether we're ROI'd or not, and we won't be able to afford to mine it with our power costs. And that means it's going to become, on the mining side, a very centralized network if those fees aren't there, and only people with 2, 3, 4 cent power and massive mining farms are going to be mining this. So on the mining side, it's going to be fairly centralized. Now on the node side is another big thing that comes into this, and I don't know how accurate this is, but Kaspa hardly has any nodes live. I know I talk about this all the time. Everyone's saying, oh, use the Stratum ping ticker to find the best pool to mine to if you're solo mining and stuff. And realistically, solo mining is still luck-based, whether you're under 100% or over. I've had times where I've mined Kaspa solo and got over 2,000%, which means I should have hit over 20 blocks before I even hit one. So it is very luck-based there. And the best way to absolutely solo mine Kaspa, especially for latency, is run your own node. So node decentralization is another way to keep blockchains alive. And what that means is you are running an entire copy of Kaspa. So example, say this, you know, something happens to this side of the world and it blows up, you know, then you still have this side of the world here running Kaspa. Now looking at the nodes, and again, I don't know how accurate this is. I just Googled Kaspa node map or something. This was what showed up here. But, you know, there aren't that many nodes out there. And you got to remember, most of these are also probably mining pools. These are all probably mining pool nodes, because if you come into the mining pool here, they all have multiple stratums. In theory, to run a legit mining pool, you got to run a full node on every stratum. So say you have all these pools here right now. Some are only US and stuff. These worldwide ones do have multiple ones. You can see Crazy Pool, US, Europe, LATAM, Australia, Asia, and so on. Zerg Pool has 3 of them here, but a lot of these are only in, you know, US. Binance is only a US pool. Via BTC, I guess, is only US. Hum Pool has a couple. F2 Pool says global. I don't know them all. but they have a node running in all these. So that could be the majority of all of these nodes running too. You know, you have via BTC, you have multiple all over. So they could be one here, or two here, and then maybe a couple over here and some over here. There isn't really any users running their own nodes to run that copy of the blockchain. And honestly, if you truly want to solo mine Kaspa, you should 100% set up your node. I have videos on showing you how to get it done. It is one of the easiest nodes to get up and running to solo mine to. So if you are 100% hard set on solo mining Kaspa, do it with your own node. You will have the absolute lowest latency possible of like under 10 milliseconds, you know, maybe 3 milliseconds and stuff like that, depending on your network connection and stuff. But that is the absolute best way to solo mine any frickin' coin. Don't go to a pool that's going to charge you to solo mine to find blocks. Run your own copy of the blockchain, and that will help decentralize the network on top of maximizing your solo Kaspa earnings. So again, I don't know how accurate this map is, but there's not that many nodes even live on Kaspa according to the map as well. So for as much hype as it gets, if you actually look at the chain itself, it's very weak in my eyes, looking at that type of stuff and looking at the future of, you know, those nodes and stuff, and of the hash rate and how it's dropping down so fast. And I don't know, like, I listened to a couple Twitter spaces with some of them talking and stuff, and they say how this is the best thing for miners. It's a nice gradual reduction over time, unlike Bitcoin, which has a full halving every 4 years. That is 100% wrong. I don't care who the owner is and who created it, 100% wrong, because this is actually 4 times faster dropping them emissions than Bitcoin. I'd rather have a 4-year halving than a halving every 1 month, which actually works out to a full halving every 1 year, which is 4 times faster. So whatever way they try to manipulate with saying how this is better and easier and better for miners, they're lying to you, because this is actually faster by every other, you know, blockchain out there. So it's pretty crazy. That's just my, you know, personal opinion and stuff on it, but it's pretty crazy out there. Anyway, you guys have any ads at me asking questions? You guys agree or disagree with anything that I kind of just mentioned there, revolving centralization, decentralization, and so on? What's Yusuf saying? Rabid, how do we get paid to host a Kaspa node? You don't get paid. That's the other thing people don't realize. Master nodes versus nodes. Every coin in the entire world needs a node to run, whether it's proof of work, proof of stake, or whatever. But master nodes, proof of stake nodes, and, you know, smart nodes, they require a collateral. Running a normal node does not require any collateral. You just get it up and running. And all majority nodes, they don't pay you nothing. The node is there just to run the copy of the blockchain. That's it. People are getting confused and mixed up, and they're only driven to running something because they want to get paid for it. Well, you don't get paid to run a node. A node is just a copy of the blockchain. People saying they want to have a decentralized network and they want to run better miners and they want to do all these things, but then all of a sudden, as soon as they hear that you don't get paid from the node, they give up and quit and say, no, I'm not doing it. Well, that is not crypto. You need to realize what crypto is and how it runs before you can start thinking about all these things. And people just don't realize that you don't get paid for nodes. That's just the bottom line. But you can solo mine to your nodes. You can solo mine, and that will add that decentralization. That will remove any pool fees involved, and you'll get 100% of those block rewards, and you'll have the absolute best latency to solo mine instead of using a pool. It doesn't matter if that pool is, you know, 10 kilometers away, you're still going to have a slightly better chance of having a better latency running that node in your own network type of thing. So, you know, exactly. Solo mining, run your own node. That's the bottom line. Rabid, does mining BTC solo also you benefit to mine using on your own BTC node? Yeah, well, it's the same thing. You'll have the absolute best latency if you set up your own Bitcoin node and you solo mine to it. Yes. Now, it's a little harder because if you don't set up your node right, it's going to be really hard to test, because say it may look like you're getting hash rate, but maybe you have something in there wrong. You obviously have to wait till you hit a block to see if it actually works. That's why when it came to setting up my own Monero nodes and Zeph nodes and stuff like that, I used a I used a network that hardly had any hash. That way I could see if I'm actually getting my rewards here. So if obviously, you know, if you hit a Monero node, you hit a block reward or something, you hit a solo mine, and all of a sudden you don't get rewarded, you're like, oh, well, what happened here? That took me 10 days, 20 days, a month, 2 months to hit that block, and I got nothing. That's because, you know, maybe something wasn't configured correctly. It depends on your node and exactly, you know, how to set them up and stuff. Kaspa was a very easy thing. It's just like Spectre and everything else. Run the KDX app, run the frickin' Stratum bridge, and you're done. You're good to go. Now, some nodes, they can't take physical instructions from your mining software, so you do need to set up a Stratum to connect to it. So that's one of the things involved with Monero and stuff. But, you know, something like Kaspa, you just have that bridge, and that's the same type of thing there. It makes it very easy. So you got to do research, obviously, and look into everything. But bottom line, if you do want a solo mine, though, it definitely comes down to just run your own node. Kaspa V2 is promising. I have 3 million already. Yeah, Kaspa V2 is just another Kaspa fork, so I don't really, and then it's using the same name, so I don't really have any faith in it. But you never know. It might, if it's super profitable right now, that'd be awesome. I don't think it's listed on the exchange yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I wouldn't. You know, it's good to get a bag of everything, but I haven't tried that one yet because seriously, think about it. That's like saying, that's like Bitcoin V2 coming out and they're saying they're going to be the next Bitcoin. Like what? Yeah, I don't think so. The ultras are $90 now on Bitmars. That's insane. Yeah, they're absolutely cheap. Oh, so they just like it. BTC has nodes because price per hitting block is like winning the lottery. Well, that's true too, but most people, they're not solo mining to their own nodes, so you're still confusing what a node actually is. And a node is a copy of the blockchain. It has all the transactions in it. It has everything going on, which means if everything got nuked in the world and you still had your copy going, Bitcoin's still alive because your node is still going. That's why decentralized does matter, because if something happens to all of these nodes over here or all those nodes over there, you still have nodes in various areas. But, you know, if say all your nodes are, if a blockchain's all its nodes are sitting, say, somewhere in like China, for an example, and China decides to shut their power out for a week or something, or, you know, they put a crackdown on some law or something, or they ban everything and all those nodes go down, the blockchain's done. That's why, you know, you need the nodes everywhere spread out through the world for that decentralized type of world. Why do people FOMO now into buying CMP 100 210? They have been around for over 6 months. They've been around longer than that, I think, but I think the major thing is because their price is down quite a bit. Like, they're not a new GPU, they're nothing new, just that their price is very low right now, and, you know, people are trying to build up. Personally, I still think I do have a CMP 100 210 in right now. I'm testing a Leo hash rate numbers at the current moment, and they're not as good as everyone's been claiming that they are. They're still a good GPU. They're good for the price value and stuff, but they're not as good as everyone's been showing you the numbers are. And, you know, we'll get at that when I'm done my test. But, you know, I like to test everything myself to see how they are. I use power at the wall. I remove my system power. I get average hash rates over 24 hours. And it's way different than what you would think. I'm seeing something like, if you were to build a rig based on current numbers posted on other channels, you'd be building a rig at about 2 gigahash on a Leo for about 580 watts. Based on my numbers right now, it's looking like I'd only get about 1.4 mega hash. Did I say gigahash for this one? I meant 2 mega hash at about, you know, 580 watts or so. Based on my numbers, it's looking like you'd build a 6-card rig and only get 1.4 mega hash at a little over 600 watts. So, you know, I like to make sure my numbers are from the wall and everything is correct and average numbers, and it's looking a lot different than how people have been saying how good they are. They're still a good GPU based on the price, but I feel long term, they're probably not going to be the best thing. On top of that, you guys remember back in 2021 and stuff, everyone always talked about resale value. I'm only buying GPUs because I can resell it. Well, guess what? With a CMP card, there is no resale value in that. Gamers are not going to buy a mining card if you decide to try to upgrade your hardware or something. So these are other things to keep in mind and things I'll be going through when I finally reveal my numbers about this GPU. But we'll see what happens. Yes, that is true. But like I said, I'm using 24-hour average hash rate. So I'm using the average hash rate here, and it is all based on ZK pool because I've been finding that I've been earning pretty good on that pool. But again, actually, the earnings are pretty close to F2 pool, but I'm still gonna do that. Maybe I'll do an update after, and I'll try the same settings on F2 pool as well, just on the one GPU. But remember, it's not just turning it on, looking at a hash rate. I'm waiting. I'm looking at the high hash rates. I'm recording my low hash rates, and I'm recording the average hash rate that I am getting on that GPU. So all the numbers are going to be there. So we'll just wait for that to happen. But anyway, that's the major thing right now, is mostly people are getting them because they're cheap right now. But I still think long term, next bear market, they're not going to be competitive. We're going to have 5090s, but I know, Rabid, the 5090s are going to cost too much and it's not going to be worth it. Well, guess what? That's why GPU mining is going to be back again next cycle. That's why it's going to be profitable, because of that mindset. You're thinking, I don't want to get that, but guess what? You're going to continue to mine on RX 580s? No one's mining on that garbage anymore because it's not profitable. CMPs, 3070s, everything moving into the next market, they're not going to be profitable. You either going to need next gen hardware, or you can continue sobbing and say, no, GPU mining is dead. And that's why I don't recommend to invest in cheaper 3000 series. The only reason the 3000 series remained kind of decent is because the 4000 series had zero memory boost. They sucked. They only had core, so they're based on core-based coins. Most of the forks that came out that were profitable, yes, they were all core-based, so we got lucky in the 4000 series dominated, 3000 series and stuff, especially 4090s, but the 3070s still kept their value when it came to core-based coins like, Block X and, I guess, Ergo and things like that, because of the memory. Now we're going to have 5090s with freaking massive memory boosts and bandwidth boosts and insane things. Those 3070s are going to look like trash. Like example right now, when I turn a 4090 on for a Leo or something, that thing is hashing better than half my Octaminer X12 at less power. So, that's just the bottom line. It's going to be expensive, and people are not going to want to update their GPU mining farms because it's been so bad for the past 3-4 years ever since Ethereum. But that's what you're going to need to really do if you want to remain competitive, remain mining on this, especially unless you have free power. But most of us have 10 to 15 cent plus power, and the current GPUs, everyone says, are the best ones to get right now, is just coming in from a price. So I'd rather spend $2,000 at something that makes me a couple dollars a day than spend freaking $200 on something that drives me negative for the rest of my life. Like, that's pretty much how, I'm looking at things. But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. 5090 will be 2500. See, we don't know. It's all speculation and leaks right now. Everyone gets so driven right now. And right now, everyone's pretty much getting to the point where they're accepting $2,500. NVIDIA is going to see that, okay, this is $2,500. I'm not doing this. And they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to release that $2,500 because that's what we actually think. Now, Comey there, he actually saw Moore's Law's video, and he claimed that that is all fake numbers. I do believe Comey a lot more. Moore's Law is obviously a great resource for information, but the leaker Comey there is usually seems to be accurate most of the time, and he's claiming that those numbers are wrong. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But personally, you know what? That's why I'm going the 5090 route, because that's what it's gonna take when they release. I got builds coming in. I got a couple 1600 watt power supplies and stuff, and that's what it's gonna be. So everyone can continue to say GPU mining's dead, but if I'm gonna be making decent profit, that's the way we got to go. So that's just the way I'm looking at things moving forward. Anyway, that's me. I'm not saying do like me. This is my channel. This is my, my journey through mining cryptocurrencies, and I always like to run the most efficient hardware, and that's what it comes down to remain profitable. Leo won't have a choice when ASICs are released. And yeah, that's the other thing, because now everyone's, all the profit, there is good profit on GPUs right now, but that's with a Leo. But in 2 months time, 3 months here, sometime in January, we will have the Leo ASICs hit, and there's no more coin for the GPUs anymore. Asterix is already done. It lasted, 3-4 days after it got listed on the exchange. Hash rate pumped up too much. There's no other coin that can support all that hash rate. So it's going to be, another Ethereum event in theory, because all the hardware is going to be looking for another home. Our 5090 is going to be fire like the 4090 did. Probably. I have no idea. We're going to have to wait and see, how they actually perform and stuff. But, like as a mining guys, we're not running these things at max TDP. Maybe if you're trying to do some AI, you might melt your house down or something. But when it comes to crypto mining, which is what I do, I don't do the AI stuff. Half the crypto AI is fake anyway. But, you know, it just comes down to, I guess, how you run your card and stuff. That's the other thing too. The AIBs, you really got to watch for, because they come in stock. They cost more than the Founders Edition, and they come in with, you know, their clocks are higher than the Founders Edition, and they charge you more for it. So you're getting charged more for a higher base clock, which is pretty much an FE overclocked out of the factory is all it is. And they charge you an extra $300 depending on the model. Sometimes they're an extra $1,000. So it's pretty crazy. Founders 5090, 1599. See, yeah, well, that's the same as what a 4090 would be. You know, I'm okay with maybe $17.99 on the 5090 FE edition. Like, I don't care about Asus Strix. They're going to be every other brand is going to be way more in the FE. I only buy the FE brands because you don't need all that extra like, it's a 5090. The 4090s can run anything out there. Freaking 3000 series can run majority of the games out there crank. So, like, you don't need all these third-party AIBs just unless you like to just say, yo, I got this one because it costs the most. It's the beast card, blah, blah. Who cares? We're here for miners. We want the cheapest card. And all that is an FE. All you need is Founders Edition cards. It's not going to magically make you hash more because you got a card that costs you an extra $1,000 more. NVIDIA has always priced their new cards at $15.99. I don't know if that's actually true. Is that what did the 4090 release at? Was it $15.99? Because it currently still is MSRP $15.99. But the 4090 actually released cheaper than what the 3090 released at. So I think the 3090 actually had a higher MSRP on its release. Obviously, Ethereum stuff was around at the time. But the 4090 released cheaper than the 3090 released, and everyone screamed and cried that the 4090 cost too much. It's hilarious. If Ethereum was around when the 4090 released, people would be buying them up like crazy and not care. But, you know, it was actually cheaper and everyone was mad. So, you know, you can't please everybody. It all depends, current situations and markets. But, you know, I'm okay with it being, you know, the same. I think it's going to be close to the same. But, you know, we don't know for sure. Everything's cheaper. There's a massive supply of chips. But NVIDIA does like to do greed video, and they like to create fake shortages, which we don't have. So obviously we know that they're lying to us. If they say they don't have enough chips, they can't make them, there's a shortage on their GPUs, they're lying to us all because they're just holding back their stock on purpose to maintain that price being higher. 3090 Ti was $16.99. Okay, well, maybe, but yeah. But yeah, that was it. But then what? The 4090 released 3 months after. I'm pretty sure the 4090 though released cheaper than when the 3090 though first released. In Canada, where is the best pricing for a 4090? I would go with Best Buy. I think all in taxes it was 2,100 Canadian, or 21 or 2,200 after taxes in Alberta is what I paid for my 4090 Founders Edition. But yeah, Best Buy is the only place you can get the Founders Edition in Canada. So that would be the best place to get them. Now, I'm up in the air, though, like, how are we going to get them? It's going to be hard because I know scalpers are going to be out like crazy. We're going to be dealing with bots. We're probably not even going to be able to stand in line because as soon as the store opens, the bots are going to hit the online orders. And I think it's going to be really rough to get them on those. But at the same time, you know, everyone's saying they're so expensive, so no one's going to buy them. But meanwhile, they're going to be sold out fast. So, you know, it's going to be interesting for sure. Best Buy it is. Yeah, Best Buy always when it comes to Founders Edition. Oh, yeah, no, they already dried them up. I seen that already. I seen that a couple months ago. They quit producing the 4090s and everything. So, yeah, the stock is drying up. You're not going to get any new drops on Best Buy. It's all being sold right now. So, hopefully the 4090 prices do drop on the used market. Right now, they're pretty high because scalpers are doing scalper things. But we'll have to wait and see. eBay has them cheap? Okay, that's interesting. But I'd wait. I don't want a 4090 anymore. You know, unless they get very cheap here. A 4090 is technically going to be better still than the 5080, if that makes sense to you guys. I don't know the full details on it, though. But it sounds like core-wise and everything, the 4090 will still dominate the... the 5080. But, you know, NVIDIA doesn't really care about their mid and low range anymore. It's all about the flagships. And they're making the 5090 pretty dominant, and the rest kind of look like they're gonna suck personally by, you know, early leaks and stuff. But we don't know. We're just gonna have to wait until it all plays out and stuff. Anyway, what other things we're gonna look at? Have you guys seen this? You guys seen this thing right here? This is hilarious in a way, kind of. So The Volk Miner D1. So this is a script ASIC, you know, like the L9 and stuff. But I don't know if this is real and it's going to release or anything for legitly, but maybe. But look, on the miner, it actually says super fast ROI. As soon as an ASIC manufacturer puts this on their freaking marketing app, I would say stay away from it. Revolutionary performance to power ratio, which makes it sound like, oh, wow, this is going to be the next best thing. Multi-speed frequency conversion, customized production. So it is listed here at Apex 2, but look at this thing, 17 gigahash at 3,900 watts. Bitmain L9 is better than this thing. I have the L9. I have the 16 gigahash version. It averages around 16 and a half gigahash. You can get 17 gigahash version. They're only using 3,300 watts at the wall. This thing, for the same hash rate as an L9, is using an extra 600 watts. That's about the same amount of power as the AlphaPex, what is it, DG1 home miner that does around, what is it, 1.5 to 2 gigahash, I think? I think it's around 2 gigahash. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So in theory, you know, this thing is using an AlphaPack's worth of power more than the L9 for only like 500 megahash, a gold shell type of miner, extra hash rate over it type of thing. So this is not revolutionary or anything. Like, it obviously is better than an L9 and things like that, but you know, it's very interesting. It's definitely going to come down to what is this thing going to cost. We don't know any pricing or if it's even coming 100% yet. I've never really heard of these guys, but it seems like a lot of people are starting to build script miners. And, you know, it makes sense. Hashblades supposedly are going to be shipped out for testing here within the next month or two. I'm still waiting for confirmation on that, and I think full release is early next year, but it'll be interesting to see if Hashblades release. If Hashblades release, they will definitely be the dominant script miner if they do come to light, but we'll have to see. But that's the super fast part. Extra watts, extra fast. New Doge miner. I thought it was a Voss coin miner. I didn't know what it was. I thought I wanted to call it the volcano miner, but I wasn't sure about all that. Coming into the old crypto here, let's just see. I wanted to refresh here because, again, we talked about it's Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. Why are you white? Stop it. Oh my gosh, how do I get it back to black? Why did I hit anything? No, I don't want to go to portfolio. Customize. No, I don't want that. Oh my gosh, I just flashbanged you all and I can't get it back. Oh, here we go. Dark theme. Stop doing that. All right, so anyway, we're back here and let's just see last 7 days. I want to see past 24 hours. Oh, Turbo's up. Dynex was leading the charge earlier, but now we got Turbo doing its thing. We got Chlor AI, we got Dynex here. Cadena is doing something. It's in, you know, it's in one of the largest earnings today. It's obviously still down quite a bit, but it's up 6%. We got Epic Cash is up 4%. We got Pyron doing something. Zill is up 1%. Actually, everything's looking a lot lower than what it was earlier, but we're at least seeing a bunch of green again. So I just want to come in. Let's go to the market cap here. Where is Kaspa? Wow, you're down. Kaspa finally made it to over 14 cents last night. But now, while everything is green, it is going back down. What is going on? What is happening is everyone buying the meme coins, which puts me on another thing. I think it's kind of weird and funny at the same time, but Kaspa's meme coins are getting listed faster and before on large exchanges before Kaspa even is. Like, exchanges, they don't care about these coins. They only care about where the trading volume is. And it looks like the meme coins are there. So, you know, that could be what's happening to his Kaspa is since actually KRC20 tokens released, we have been seeing Kaspa price drop. Now, this is probably due to the fact that people could be just swapping a bunch of their Kaspa and doing the meme coin thing. Is that a good idea? I have no idea. I got some, yes, but you know, it's a meme coin. I hate meme coins. They're dumb, but they tend to pump stupid amounts. So why not type of situation? Do at your own risks. But, you know, that could be a vast majority of what's going on. So one thing to keep in mind, if in fact that is what's happening, where a lot of the Kaspa coins is going out through buying the meme coins and stuff, that should get swapped back into Kaspa eventually and might cause a pump. Maybe that's going to be the cause of leading back to Kaspa's all-time high, is once people start getting, you know, become millionaires off Nacho and all these dumb meme coins, and they swap those coins back into Kaspa, we could see a massive Kaspa spike, if that's how the ecosystem works. You know, I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll just have to wait and see once the time comes down, once the DEX is and things like that. I think it'll be very interesting once the DEX get introduced there on Kaspa, but right now, yeah, things are looking rough. It just does not want to climb anymore. And every time we see a big Kaspa pump is usually when Bitmain and Ice River announce a new miner. So the only way we know technically right now, the next guaranteed pump is probably if a new miner emerges. But I don't know if one's going to be coming in sometime soon or not. Kaspa meme coins are doing better than Kaspa in every way. I know, it's crazy. They are doing freaking good. It's crazy and good. You know, like I said, I got some. I don't recommend meme coins. Do it at your own risk and stuff, because, you know, meme coins go up and down extremely fast, but you know, there's potential there. Oh, it's crazy. Lots of turkey green, thanks. Lots of turkey green, thanks you. Yeah, turkey green. We're actually having our turkey dinner tomorrow, but not today. CPU's still off. Yeah, they are actually. My CPUs are still off. Look at my Hive. Poor Hive. Poor Hive's looking rough right now, huh? Dun dun dun. Yeah, my Hive's not looking too great right now, but I'm looking at some coins. I do plan on turning it back on soon. I just don't know when and what I'm going to mine and things like that. I got some other things here like Kaspa. I got this worked down all the way into, what is it? Yeah, Kaspa to the end of 2025 with all the block reward reductions and stuff. And yeah, and then I have the prices in here at $1 Kaspa. Like, look at here, November 25th. Based on, you know, 2 petahash, which I assume will be there by some time. We'll probably be at 3 or 4 petahash. But a $1 Kaspa and 2 petahash online, you know, 1 terahash is only making $1.68. That's at $1 freaking Kaspa. Like, it's getting pretty sad. Pretty freaking sad that even at $1 Kaspa, it's not looking that profitable to mine, especially for a home miner. And that's before any type of power cost. For 1 terahash. So what's 1 terahash? I guess in theory we can go 2 terahash, because what's the latest Ice River? That KS2 Lite is 2 terahash, 600 watts. So $1 Kaspa will be making $3.36 in November of 2025. If we have only 2 freaking petahash, whatever, online or exahash. What are we at right now? You know, I should probably redo these numbers just to see exactly what this number is. So I'm just going to come into here. That's 2 exahash. I think I have that actually. 1.09. So let's just go 1.09 exahash and see what that works. Oh my gosh, so much. So we're going to come bring that down into terahash. I gotta see what I got this thing set up. I'm going 1000. So yeah, so we got that in gigahash. Copy. So right now, current network. I'm just going to adjust this. Yeah, so that was at 2 exahash. So maybe, I don't know if we'll be that high. So at 1 exahash. So at current network hash rate right now and $1 Kaspa in November of 2025, you know, that's $6.16 with 2 terahash. Okay, now let's just try 12 terahash here. $36. So KS5L with the current network hash rate at $1 Kaspa is only making $36 a day. Based on the current hash rate in November of 2025. So end of next year when Bitcoin is probably going to be at its all-time high. If Kaspa's at $1, that's at like, and we're going to have a lot higher hash rate, you know, by then, but like, it's just looking rough. And I don't even want to lead into the next bear market here because we're probably going to be under $1 on a KS5L with Kaspa. Like, I don't even know. It's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. Kaspa is not looking too hot right now anymore for future as miners. I wonder if we are going to have to actively cool the 16 power connectors, like modding a card and soldering on custom water cooled connectors and cable. Oh, snarks, that's gonna be insane. Those 5090s and stuff. Oh, I don't know. And then, did you guys see Gamers Nexus recent video about connectors and then like the true 12 volt high power connectors where, you know, splitting them, because a lot of power supplies, you do get their connector right now, but it's between two PCI Express. And I know some of the other power supplies, they actually have PCI 5 600 watt true 12 high power, and he claims that those are the only ones you should really use, because you're getting bad grounds and in connection in between when you're actually splitting between the two on other ones. So, you know, there's still a lot up in the air. This is like SATA versus PCIe early 2018, you know, when people are mining Ravencoin and melting rigs with SATA cables and things like that. But you got to remember the main thing, it's not necessarily the cables that melt. It's always 99% of the time it's in the pins. You know, we were talking about this in Discord a couple days ago. I remember back in 2020, we were always talking about, oh, cheap Chinese cables. Make sure you have the proper gauge cables when running to your risers and your GPUs and all this stuff when building a GPU mining rig. Don't use SATA, stuff like that. So most of the time, it's not even those cables. You could probably get away with some smaller Chinese cables without melting. Obviously, if they're too small, they're going to heat up and melt. But the point is, it's usually in the pins. All the parts that melt and everything is in the pins, the connections. And that's why you also want to always check your connections, is they do slowly rattle over time and the clips break and things like that. So you always want to check your connections, make sure they're tight. And that's usually always the weak spot when it comes down to all the gold shell, mini Doge miners and stuff. Where do they start burning up? Within the connectors. You know, some people using ATX power supplies and some of those gold shell miners, obviously they started melting things within the connectors because they weren't designed and they couldn't support the proper things. But the pins are usually the weak points in everything. So that's definitely spot one to always check when it comes down to everything, is your pins. That $1 Kaspa, though. I know that's a thing, Speed Target. That's $1 Kaspa. Everyone think, oh, Kaspa's going to hit the $1. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be awesome if you mined your coins last year. Mining at $1 Kaspa is going to suck. And that's what we talk about all the time, too, is, you know, mine in the profit range, collect your coins in the bear markets, because mining in a bull market isn't good. You're like, well, you're making the most amount of money then. Yeah, it looks profitable, it looks awesome, but your yields are probably 20 times less in a bull market than what they were in that bear market. You're collecting all your coins in that bear market, not the bull market. The bull market is when you dump your coins, not mine your coins. You could literally shut your rigs off for the entire bull market and make 100x more from mining the year before that with your rigs off. You know, your rig's off in the bull market. You know, obviously you're not going to do that because all the profit is there and everyone's pumped because the profit's there. And then the miners turn in to be $60,000 a piece and people FOMO into it because they think the profit's so good, and it's not going to last because we're going to be back in another bear market. So it's a crazy scale. And, you know, a lot of people don't really understand it, but it's just the way she goes. Don't use cheap Chinese cables either. No, don't use cheap Chinese cables. I'm just saying, though, point is, the pins is usually where things go down. You want to always have proper gauge cables and everything. You don't want anything under gauge or cheap Chinese cables or anything. But it was just a thing, you know. It's the pins usually. Fire, beeves, but fire. Can't I use my GPURisers on a new 5090? Yeah, for sure. You can use your GPURisers on the 5090s. It's a risers. Risers have a standard limit. Even on the 5090, they didn't change it. It's not magically going to be using over 200 watts at the riser. They still have a standard of like 75 watts for the riser. Rabid, where do we sell our gram? I don't know. Where do we sell gram? I don't know. We'll type it in here. Gram. Click on it. Markets. So gram is on these places. StoneFi, Mexi, I guess, has gram. BingX, Bitmart, DDust, CoinX, Stone.fi, and DDust. So this is where you sell gram. Hi, Fruitation Designs doesn't answer any mails. Are they still selling? Yeah, I just talked to him not too long ago. What are you trying to get your hands on there, Maka Hakas? Yeah, maybe he's on vacation or something. That could be a thing. But yeah, usually they answer their emails pretty fast. But yeah, he's definitely still selling his kits and everything. I just got the one for the L9, you know, a couple weeks ago. I can't. Okay, what we got there? We got there. When do we sell? We don't know when you feel like you should sell. Not financial advice. I don't know when you should sell. Just be ready for the coins to explode. That's pretty much what it comes down to. 3 KS1s, 9 KS19s. Yeah, how do you get a KS19? That's like super future. What is that? Like 100 terahash? A KS19? I'm just kidding. 3 KS1, 9, and 1 KS5. Oh, you're looking for kits for those? Yeah, he has those. Yeah, he has them for those. What do we got? I might go this way on my test bench cards. What are you guys doing? You guys are going to be doing up some crazy card stuff. I definitely want a 5090 to put in my gaming rig and mine when I'm not playing. Yeah, for sure. Me too, Scaper. 100%. Sell when the coin hits the banana zone. Yeah, the banana zone, when it freaking explodes like crazy. Like, we don't know when it's going to happen. We have no idea. Let's just, we go through this all the time here. But let's just, I don't know, Raven. Let's look at Raven coin. Your coin's dead until it's not. Like, you want to sell somewhere in here. Raven coin example, it peaked around January, February, March. So March of 2021. So possibly January, March, any time next year is when we'll see Ravencoin spike. But, it's dead, and next thing you know, it's not. So you want to sell. When you see your coin, I guess the bottom line, the way I'm looking at it, when you see your coin pump for at least 2 weeks straight, it's probably a good time to consider selling. Now, it could die after 2 weeks. Some coins pump 2 weeks to a month. But if you see solid pumps happening on your bag, just be ready. That's all I can really say. I don't 100% know when it's going to happen. Every month, we're going to see different freaking coins popping off. Some it could be as early as this December, for all we know. It could be January. But January, February, we could already see coins starting to hit their all-time highs. But it pretty much comes down to, if you have a bag and you see your coin freaking pump, if you feel like it, not financial advice, just take the freaking profits, because it's probably going to die and be dead for the next 4 years. That's how altcoin season works. We're not going to have a magical flood of GPU mining is back. So many people think, in the bull run, we're going to be back. We're not. We're not going to be back on a CPU. We're not going to be back on a GPU. We're going to have an altcoin season. We're going to see Ravencoin spike. We're going to see all the hash rate hit it. The profits will suck. Even if all those coins hit all-time highs at the same high, we still will not even have Ethereum in its low days. In its low days, we still won't have that. Profitability will not be like Ethereum was at all, even if every coin hit its all-time high at the same time. And they're not going to. It's going to be different months. So we're going to see a coin spike. Hash rate's going to move in. Other hash rate will fall off other coins. So in theory, what my strategy would be is, say Ravencoin explodes like this. Oh, it's going to the moon. Everyone's going to say GPU mining is back. It's freaking awesome. But guess what? A lot of hash rate is going to come in, and that hash rate is going to come from some other coin. So what I'm going to do is, because your yields are going to be trash here anyway, I start getting my bag ready to sell. Let it continue to pump here. You see it going up. Oh, 2 days went by, solid pump. 3 days, solid pump. 4 days, solid pump. Oh my gosh, 2 weeks went by, still freaking pumping. Let's do this. So we got to follow other networks. So at this time, Ravencoin is pumping. We may see something like Ergo. If it didn't hit its spike yet, we may see something like Ergo, which looks like it happened after Ravencoin. Again, this could be switched. Ergo could pump before Ravencoin, and so on. We have no idea. But look for other networks. Maybe the hash rate is falling off of Ergo severely. Maybe it's falling off Dynex. Maybe it's falling from somewhere. But all that hash rate is coming from somewhere. So meanwhile, everyone's FOMOing into freaking Ravencoin. The yields will drop next to nothing. It will still look decent because the price is so high, but you're just getting your bag ready. Meanwhile, you're pointing your farm to another coin. Which coin didn't pump yet, and which coin's hash rate spiked? Maybe it's Ergo at the time, depending, different scenario. We don't know what coin is pumped yet or not by that time. But, maybe the hash rate dropped 75% off Ergo. Well, guess what? Yields are probably going to be pretty freaking high at that point. I'm going to point my rigs to Ergo. I'm going to wait for that Oh, I almost swore there. I'm going to wait for that friggin' spike to happen. And meanwhile, everyone's fighting over here. I'm collecting all my yields over here. And then, boom. Next thing you know, maybe Ergo's the next coin to spike. Or maybe the next coin to spike could end up being, I don't know, other GPU coins that are happening out there right now. We haven't talked. Maybe Flux is spiking at this time. So now everyone's moving over to Flux, and the Ravencoin's done. Remember, Ravencoin hit a spike. erase it from your list of mining coins. It's not going to spike again for another 4 years. Look, we can see spike, dead, spike, dead. Raven coin, same situation. Once that coin spikes, ignore it. Do not mine it again. It is done for the next 4 years. So here we go. Spike, dead. You know, what was here? When did it come out? 2018. It didn't even really see much of a spike here. Oh, it happened after. So yeah, this was the first bull run for Raven coin. So yeah, it spiked and it's been done. So you take your little marker in your spreadsheet or your sheet of paper, whatever, which coin spikes. So Raven coin spiked, exit. No longer going back to that. It's done for another 4 years. Now you look for the next coin. Next coin pumps, you know, say it's Flux. You know, everyone's moving to that. Where's the hash rate coming from? Put your rigs on something else that hasn't spiked yet. Flux, put a big X on Flux because it's dead for the next 4 years. And you continue to do that because these coins only spike once. Well, you know, you see the odd spike here, but, you know, this is the all-time high, point being, and then you move on and wait. So that's kind of my strategy leading into this. Next year, we're probably going to have everything running. You're going to wait for the spikes to happen. As soon as the spikes start happening, look to where the hash rate is dropping off from. Move to that coin that has not spiked yet. Be ready to sell your other bags as they're moving up because that's where all the volume is. Once the coins are spiking, you're going to need that volume to sell your coins. And there's no volume at the peak. So you have to sell before it hits its peak because once it peaks, it's not going anywhere but downhill. So once the coin is done spiking, move to the next one, cross it off your list, don't go back. Then once the full year goes by pretty much, sometimes, you know, Flux last cycle, it pumped and it hit its all-time high in January, which is actually after Bitcoin spike. All-time high there. But once we're done for, you know, that year there, then we start looking as everything's pretty much dead at that point again. We're in another bear market beginning, and now we start looking into, okay, where should we start mining now? Where do we start collecting our bags for the next cycle? And that's pretty much, you know, does that make sense to you guys? That's how I look at everything. That's how I'm planning everything. And that's kind of how I'm going to be doing everything there. Was it you? Oh, so I missed that. Someone just erased it or something. He means once it's spiked, it's done for the next few years. Yeah. Bob Deb, what do you mean? Where's Bob Deb? What was his question there? Bob Deb, where are you? Oh, he erased it right there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I said. Once the coin spikes in altcoin season next year, you know, it's going to be done for another 4 years. So ignore that coin for the rest of it. You know, everyone's still going to be on Twitter saying Raven's going to keep going up. This is going to keep going up. Ignore all that crap. Look for where the hash rate's falling away from. And obviously, it's going to be really hard. Everyone's going to forget about this live stream an hour from now. I still remember it. I've been planning for this for a long time, and I'm just kind of give you an idea how I'm looking at things. It doesn't mean do the same thing as me, but usually based on all the coins and their altcoin seasons and stuff is once they spike, it's over. It's done with for 4 years. So there's no point in mining that coin thinking it's going to go up again when it's done. You know, it might see another quick spike, you know, that it happens for sure. But look at the other coins because their spikes are still coming. So be ready for them. Get as much of them as you can, depending where the hash rate and stuff is all swinging from. Because once people start seeing these things happening, hash rate is going to start swinging very, very fast. But we're not going to have a solid coin, which I kind of pointed out there. Ethereum, we kept mining Ethereum that entire year. While all these other coins were spiking and doing their things, we kept mining Ethereum the entire year. That's where we had the bull run. But because this is an altcoin season, there's no more Ethereum. We're just going to have spikes. We're not going to have consistent GPU profits. We're not going to have consistent CPU profits. We're going to be good for a couple weeks to a month, and it's going to be dead. And hopefully something pumps soon that we can sell our bags on, that we have bags of, but then something might spike and maybe you'll move over to it. But it's not going to cause a massive demand in GPUs. It's not going to cause, you know, to ROI your farm because you just bought it again. That's the thing too about not selling your hardware. Sure, a lot of people made a crap ton of money when they were scalping your GPUs back in the Ethereum days. Sure, you would have made a crap ton for sure. But now you don't have any more GPUs. So obviously you're going to say, oh, GPU mining is dead. Because in theory it is. You're only profitable in mining these coins right now if you still have your hardware. If you have to go out and buy your hardware again to start mining again, you're done. You're not going to ROI that hardware. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not. It is trash. There's still no profit out there to fully cover them for, you know, the time frame that people expect an ROI to be. And that was in Ethereum days, what? 3 to 4 months you could ROI a brand new GPU and stuff like that. That's not going to happen. It's in the years now. So if you're okay with years, then by all means, it's definitely okay to buy hardware. And I'm okay with that because I just look for the spikes and try to maximize everything and so on. But if you have to go out and buy all your new hardware again, it's going to be dead for you. It's always ROI 9,000 days, ROI this, ROI that, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, it all depends on the situation you're in. And that's why I don't recommend anyone to go out there and buy a crap ton of hardware, especially with next-gen hardware right around the corner. They FOMO into stuff they have bags for. Rabid, why can't we have a new ETH-like coin? Well, in theory, but it's going to be gone. A Leo is Ethereum. Did you guys miss that live stream last week here? A Leo is currently, but it's going to be going to ASIC, so it's going to be gone for GPUs and stuff. But right now, we have Ethereum in the terms of a Leo. We have the exact same emissions as early. We saw, let me see here. If I go to GPUs, scroll up. So we looked at this earlier on last week here. And in 2020 of Ethereum, when it was still only $170 before it started spiking around this exact time last cycle, Ethereum was paying about $2.2 million per day at $170 Ethereum. Well, a Leo, that's at $4, so it's actually down quite a bit now. What's a Leo price at? We actually have to go to look at the Leo price now. It is at $2.98. So if we go to $2.98, I guess even this one here, $2.98. Whoa, not that. I need $2.98. $2.98 and put this is up 98. So right now, like a Leo is paying anywhere between 834 to 1.4. So it's actually down from when Ethereum was 170. Now Ethereum was like $120 before this and so on. The point is, when a Leo was around $5 or so earlier on there, it was over $2 million in emissions, which was exactly the same as Ethereum was. And then moving forward, we're going to have Bitmain and stuff release their ASICs in January for a Leo, and we could see, you know, $6, $7, $8, $10 freaking a Leo come, and this is going to balloon even more than this right here. So there's a lot of money potentially happening in a Leo. On top, we also looked at the numbers. There's over 1 million GPUs worth of hash rate of RTX 3080s mining a Leo right now. We look at the next best coins, you know, Raven coin's like 240,000. You know, Flux had 23,000 GPUs. It absorbed a lot of hardware to mine this coin right now, and it's still profitable and paying a decent amount, so it can actually accept a whole bunch more. And then we saw Asterix the other day that just released. So Asterix, just before it released, was paying $3.11, and then in one day with an influx of like 10,000 GPUs, it dropped down to only $1.07. It's no longer really that profitable. It's probably even lower now, depending on the price and stuff. But you can just see the size of the networks. There's all $2,000 a day. Asterix is, actually now it's only paying $1,338 a day. So $1,300 Asterix is paying its miners right now, where we have coins in the millions here. And Kaspa at its current price, actually, if we look at Kaspa and we compare, where's Kaspa right now? And what was Kaspa's current price? Bring that into Kaspa. Like, what's it paying its miners right now? Because mining pool stats is always broken lately. Kaspa right now is paying, it's 13.4. So if I bring that in, 13.4, we're in October. 13.4. So Kaspa's paying $953,000 per 24 hours right now to its miners. Less than $1 million now at its current price range here. And then now coming right back into here, we have a Leo around 834 or something. So, you know, a Leo's almost paying as much as Kaspa is currently, and we have all these ASICs and hype train going on, and we have a GPU coin that's at that level right now, and that's why a Leo is still, you know, remaining in the top profitability range. Let's just see what hash rate I know. Is this still saying it's on top? Yeah, look at this. We're still seeing, you know, $2.74 a day, free power on a 4090, $1.85 after power at 12-cent power. This is at 12-cent power here, and it's still $1, almost $2 here after power on a 4090. Now, it's pretty freaking crazy to look at these types of numbers here. Now, like, what's a 3070 doing? 3070 Leo is 63 cents, 30-cent profit here after types of power here. So Leo is still the top coin when it comes to GPU mining right now. Yes, it's going to be gone, and all that hash rate is going to be looking for another home yet again, like Ethereum was back then. And then everything's going to be flooded with hash rate. So it's going to get into pretty bad time again sometime in January. But unlike Kaspa, though, a Leo A6 could be interesting as well. Because of that high emissions, I'm really debating, depending on the cost of those things, they're probably going to be very expensive because they're probably going to look pretty darn profitable before any are turned on. But a Leo has the ability to soak up more hash rate than even Kaspa. So possibly being early on Leo with those miners could result into another early Kaspa thing. Obviously, the same thing. Everyone thought that when it came to a Lithium and Radiant as being early, but being early on those coins wasn't good. Why? Because they produced a lot of miners, a lot of people bought them. But number two, the daily emissions were nothing like Kaspa. You have Radiant, which only pays $8,000 now. It was at $10,000 on its pump, but now it's down to like 7 or 8. So you think a $1.5 million coin like Kaspa was early on, and people who got the miners very, very early from the first couple batches, they were mining absolutely insane amount of coins there, obviously, and they have a big bags now because of it, and that definitely paid off. But now you have Radiant and Lithium. Lithium is only like $50,000 to $60,000 a day. Getting in early isn't really going to help you on a Lithium because it's not paying miners that much. Radiant, absolute horrible. It's only paying $7,000 to $10,000 a day. It's not going to take very many miners to absorb that. The profit's not really there when it comes to those. But a Leo is sitting over $1 million. This is sitting over what Kaspa currently is paying miners right now. And we're going to have a first-gen ASIC over GPUs again. That looks like an exciting coin. Again, the price could tank down to nothing. It could be absolutely bad. Or it could be a nice early opportunity to get in and get a lot of coins quick for the potential pump that's happening right at prime time, altcoin season, so on for a new coin. So it's going to be interesting. Leo, I am kind of excited about for those first-gen ASICs, but it does suck. I really wish it would stay GPU. I don't want those ASICs to come. I would buy more GPUs right now if a Leo was going to stay GPU, but the reason because it's going to ASIC, we'd have no more GPU coins left and it's going to be bad. So I'm not buying any more GPUs on the cheaper side. I will be, like I said, mention 5090s and stuff because you're going to need the efficiencies. You're going to need new gen hardware to stay competitive on the networks. And that's what I'm leaning towards too. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But then again, it's going to come down to price. What the heck are those stupid Leo ASICs going to cost? $100,000, $60,000, $50,000? Like, it's going to be absolutely insane. A Leo supply equals unlimited. Exactly like what is it? Ethereum. Ethereum supply is unlimited. So in theory, this thing is every aspect of Ethereum is what it is, except it's not, ran by Vitalik Buterin. Buttering. Leo is not paying more than Kaspa. Well, we just look based on current price. Kaspa's only paying whatever it is per day. And if we come down to it, like Kaspa's only paying, Kaspa's paying $953,000 right now. And then every month it's going to be less. So depending on the price here. So obviously if the price is hopefully going to keep going up. But look at based on the same price, look at Kaspa emissions, 953, 900,000, 849,000, 802,000. Kaspa's block reward reduction is destroying itself. Kaspa's imploding on itself in terms of daily emissions and in terms of, miners. They're going to start quit mining this coin pretty soon based on that. Obviously, we're hoping price keeps going up, but even at $1 Kaspa, the end of next year, that's only paying $3.1 million. And a Leo is sitting around 800,000 and it's peaked upwards to $2.2 million on a Leo. A Leo is a huge coin. Whether you want to believe it or not, a Leo is a massive coin, which has not been seen since the likes of early Ethereum. It is huge. It is a huge coin and ecosystem. I saw 196 core epic on YouTube 196. Oh yeah, they have 196 core epics. Yeah, those things are beast modes, absolute beast modes. What do we have here? Oh, Mumph, what's happening? That's why I have one rig that I change every time to solo mine the coin that dropped a lot of hash rate. Always been good to me. And I wish I could mine a Leo with AMD. Well, supposedly ZK Pool is working on AMD miner, but you know, at the rate it's going, AMD's it probably won't be released till the ASIC's released, so it's gonna be pretty bad. So I guess we'll just have to wait. Rabid, or will you combo a 7950X CPU with a 5090 GPU? Yeah, sure, why not? I'd do that. That's what I got my workstation currently is a 7950X. Now I'm up in the air if I want to update completely. I might just go with a 9950X3D when they release with the 5090 for my workstation. But I'm up in the air if I want to spend the money on that or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But currently right now, yeah, if I was just to do a GPU upgrade, it would be matched up with the 7950X. Witness, L9 price will not go lower. It will go lots higher soon. I agree with that 100%. I 100% agree with that. Let's just take a look at Miner Bros here. Go to the shop here. Links down in the description if you guys are looking. But let's just look at the L9. L9. So yeah, here obviously we see they keep dropping in stock the 15 gig. Oh, they have a 15 gigahash version now? Wow, I didn't know that. I thought there's only 16s and 17s. So now we have in stock is currently 11.5, November batch 88, December batch 81, and January batch 79. Now, after January, this is going to get very risky for you to keep continuing to wait for a price drop because eventually we're going to see something magical happen, which we talked about earlier about this altcoin season and stuff. But once Dogecoin starts to do something, like possibly this again, which happened that's in January, February, March, April. That happened in May, so January's safe. But again, Doge could pump in January. Doge could pump in February. Doge could pump at the end of the year in December. We don't know when it's going to happen. It's just a big Elon Musk tweet away pretty much. But the point is, as you're waiting for that price to drop, we are going to see this is going to go anywhere from, so maybe it hits January batch, $7,000, but then all of a sudden in February, you're like, oh, one more month, it's going to go cheaper. February, Doge could pump, and the next day we could see this thing at $30,000, $50,000. Like, it's going to get expensive. All these miners, once coins start pumping, they're going to turn into stupid high prices. So that's one thing to account for. If you wait too long, you may have missed the boat completely unless you want to spend $30,000, $40,000 on one of these miners. At the same time, that's when people buy them. They spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 because they think, oh my gosh, look at the profitability is awesome. You never buy a miner at the peak of a freaking altcoin season or a bull market. Dumbest thing you could ever possibly do. Do not do it. You're going to spend stupid prices at stupid high times. We just finished saying how these altcoins, they pump and then they're done. That means by the time you get your miner, the coin's already flatlined down to nothing, and you got to wait 4 more years for the next miner to release. It's going to be crazy. L9 won't drop in price until they have a new, more efficient version. Yeah, the script miners, that's why I like them more. They're safer. It seems like a new updated version every 3 to 4 years. They will have more L9s like they did with the L7s, obviously. They'll have, a little cheaper, less efficient versions. Like initially, they had the 9.5 gigahash version of the L7. Then it went to, the 9.3, the 9.2, and the 9, all for the same amount of power. They kind of got a little cheaper, but they became less efficient. I assume the same is going to be for the L9. Over the course of the next year, they're probably going to drop, maybe a 15. Which we saw there's a 15 version there now instead of a 17. They're just going to drop to 15, then maybe 13, and maybe a 12 version for the same amount of power. But then the next actual revamp, like the L11 or whatever they're going to do there with the numbering scheme, we shouldn't see until 2028, 2029 again. It would be, if Radiant had the same market cap as a Leo, it would be putting out 250K daily. And if it had the same market cap as Kaspa, it would be 2.4 million daily. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We could only dream for that, but I doubt it. Locatech L9. Yes, the Locatechs that they release are definitely going to be the absolute best miner you could have for script. 100% by leaps and bounds, for sure. But we're just waiting for those things to finally eventually release sometime this year. Next year, I guess. Maybe this year for testing. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. What else do we got going on here? Any ads here? We went through that. Techman, are you interested in doing a giveaway? I will be in Las Vegas next week, and if you want to do a video sometime next week and could give away $20 of BTC from an ATM. Give away $20 for the Bitcoin ATM? Interesting. Oh, possibly we could look into that situation. I'm trying to line up some giveaways here. As you guys know, I won that contest from the Alpha Packs there. Alpha Packs DG1 home miner. So when they're getting ready for shipping, I'm waiting to contact and hear from them for that. But I'm trying to see if they also want to give away another one. And then we can hold a giveaway with that and stuff as well. I checked on Locatech website, and batch 2 is on the pre-order with a minimum order of 128 units. So in order to pre-order, you have to order 128 units. That's crazy. That is insane. 128. How many batches do they have? And how many, I wonder? 128 times 2 gigahash. 256 gigahash is a minimum order of ordering. That is crazy. 256 gigahash of a minimum order worth of hash rate. Wow. That is insane. They told me 144 units, so that jives. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Batch 1 never released, and they are on batch 2. Yeah, they're doing batch numbers. Now, they're still doing fabricating to get them built, but last I heard in an email last week or something is they're getting out. They're receiving the final steps of their chips or something. Then they're going to be fabricating and actually putting the hash blade together. And then they're going to be sending out the hash blade to a couple influencers to showcase. That's the last I heard. So I guess we'll see what happens there. And that's supposed to be done by the end of the year, that they should be showcased. And then shipping officially releases sometime early next year. But I don't really know the timeline or anything. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Dad come influencers. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. We have no idea what's going to happen. We'll just wait and see. Anyway, guys, wow, we've been here for a little while, guys. So I do appreciate you guys all for showing up for this live stream. We'll be back tomorrow for our AMA, and we can touch back up on this, but I appreciate everyone for this. Happy Thanksgiving weekend to everyone in Canada and you guys in the States. It's still Thanksgiving for us. So happy Thanksgiving, even though yours is next month. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.
Rabid out.